Perspective Podcast is fuel for your mind and creative grind. Each week, we break down the art of healthy hustling, overcoming the inner critic, and growing your creative business.
In life or with my social media, it's all a roller coaster. There's moments where you sell. There's moments where I'm just talking about bullshit. There's moments where I talk about my buddy's band. There's moments where I talk about myself, talk about my dad, talk about friends, talk about a dead logo, a new logo I worked on, pumping up something I got to go on. You know, when this is done, I'll put a little graphic up, you know, we'll figure something out. When, you know, but it's not just
Sell.
Motivation, you know, drink coffee and go outside and everything it'll pay your rent. It won't. You know, it's gotta be with some vulnerability. You gotta have some ups and some downs and some bullshits and some
there it is. People, I feel like we kind of had like a pre-chat about some people who feel like they have it all figured out. And I feel like why your brand is where it's at is from the relatability standpoint. Yeah, crushing design. Yeah, killing merch. But there's like, you show the fucking human behind it. When you get on a talk, you don't just talk about a portfolio review. You talk about your dad, your love for your dog. You talk about political standpoints. You talk about life. And I think that's like what I take pride in on this show is to reveal the curtain, the shit storm, the shit show that leads to like the sunny days where, you know, you show that fake shit on social media. Like people want to know the failures along the way.
Well, I mean, you have an ability to curate. I mean, that's why when you see these like influencer things where it's, you know, my face is just, I got these new dog shears last night and I did my own haircut. It's just gross.
Looking sexy.
So if you get the right angle. I just lost 24 pounds. You get the right angle and you go back to this and I'm back to 648 pounds of just pure fart beef and blood. You go back to this, now I'm down to 630. You know, I get it. Like, that's not real life. Now, I have the ability to say, by the way, I only work on bigger and more and better than you. You know, you have the ability to say that, but that's not real. This is not true. And I know people who dance behind that and hide behind that, and it's all codified and whatever the fuck. Who cares, man? My dad's a part of my life. If I'm feeling bad and he lifted me up because, you know, I think about him or something, I'm going to say a little something. A lot of my friends who are reading this shit are guys that knew my dad, you know, and it's not necessarily for, and I'm looking here, you got 50,000. That's all of Cedar fucking Falls listening to you today. That's a lot. Okay. And I've got a couple hundred. Who are these people? And I looked the other day at Lisa Condon, a buddy in town here. She's got like 400,000. It's like,
love Lisa.
It's all of Des Moines is putting into her. It's amazing. Well, you know, I've just been in a lucky spot to not know any better. And then like my bands I grew up loving, they weren't afraid to show the accident they got in on tour, the worst night of the tour, the best night of the tour. They showed it all. Because why? It was the content that they amassed. It's the up and the down. Now, I don't know, go up the food chain, you know, a little bit, the ladder a little bit. And it's like, if you're some bigger thing where you can't show the ugly, and it's only the biggest hits, then you know what I mean? It's like, there's content, there's story, there's relatability in every single thing you do. Even the rough stuff, you know, there's something to talk about. Now, I don't need to tell you everything, but it's okay to show some of that stuff, you know. And as I'm just scrolling through here, you got a good color story going on. Check.
Hey, that's new. That's new, man.
I like it. You know, I like it. And you know, and it's not just you got to promote your stuff. Listen, what are your 5 fingers? What are your 10 fingers? And you don't want to just show sell because people get tired of it. You know, there is I don't know what the metrics are, but there's got to be some kind of, you know, angle of the dangle divided by the coefficient of the hypotenuse divided by the sig divided by the, you know, the sag of the whatever, you know,
Sag.
whatever that number is. What kind of social media fatigue is just too much, you know, where it's like, listen, man, you're showing 19 posts a day of your baby or your dog or your food or your logos or your dead logos, junk and thick lines, bullshit, sure. But it just becomes a point where it's like, play it like a deck of cards. Bam, 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 bam. If you just throw them all out, you throw them all out. Sometimes you got to know when to fold them and know when to hold them, and that whole deal. It's like, I don't know. There's a consistency to this stuff where it's like, I don't want to say smart about it. I just don't want to waste anyone's time. I want to have a little bit of a curveball. What's interesting is when people analyze, even just selfishly for a second, my junk, they'll say, today is probably going to talk about an old logo. Well, wow, you cracked the code. I'm not just going to talk about how to better myself every 9 minutes. That just gets a little weird after a while. I got to go spend some time bettering myself. Maybe I did or maybe I didn't.
Thanks again for listening. It'd be awesome if you took the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let the comment below so we can connect. Again, if you want to catch a shout out as a future listener of the week, make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes and give it a rating and review.